Welcome to the Naked Relationship Podcast. I'm Adam,
And I'm Kelley.
and we've got a doozy for you. We've got quite a bit to talk about today.
We have like months or maybe weeks of like things to tell you guys, but like we just have been so busy, like we always are.
Yeah, and like the crazy thing is, out of those months, those experiences can be boiled down into like one experience.
Or maybe one episode. Not even.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. All right. So, a couple things we want to tell you guys about first. I would like to talk about my taboo toy experience and the one I got to play with this past
Yes.
week. It is my favorite. So, this is my favorite one, I think, that I go to now because it is so good. So, I love this toy. It is called the Womanizer, and it is the one with a collaboration by Lily Allen, which she's a singer and songwriter, and she is absolutely an amazing person. And she collaborated with them and to help bring awareness to women and how we should take care of ourselves and pleasure ourselves. And this one is a beautiful color. It's like a vibrant fuchsia pink with a little bit of like a peachy pink color. And it is one of those clitoral toys that has blown me away. And I come the loudest and hardest when I use clitoral stimulation and especially clitoral toys. So it is now my go to. It is by my nightstand in my little box area where I keep my favorite toys that I'm using currently and some lube. It is right there. I will show you guys what it looks our Instagram and Twitter. I'll also be showing a demonstration of how hard I come on our OnlyFans. So if you want to subscribe to that, you can check out that video here hopefully soon. But guys, if you have not tried a clitoral toy, I definitely recommend this one for sure. It is amazing and it has different intensities that you can slowly build yourself up on. And it has this awesome travel cover that you can just snap on. And now this is also my go-to travel toy that I bring with. You have to hold it down to turn it on. So it's not like easy to turn on in your suitcase at all, especially with the travel cover. It is great.
Yeah, that travel cover makes me, like when I'm looking at it, I call it like a little egg.
Yeah, it looks like a little egg, kinda, but not really. And it fits perfectly in like my hand because I have tiny hands, but it can fit in anyone's hands. Like it conforms to your hand so you can use it over your vulva and you just separate your labia and then you just kind of slowly put it on your clitoris and it feels amazing. Amazing. That toy was a 10 out of 10.
Somebody told me that they could, well, I guess in this case, that toy is a 10 out of 10 too. So,
Oh, yeah.
and you said you're going to be sharing something, you coming from that toy on the podcast OnlyFans, right?
Yes, I will be doing that. So, guys, subscribe if you want to see it. Okay, it's gonna be great. And I come pretty loud when I come, like with clitoral stimulation.
Yeah, it's like, it'll wake you up.
It will for sure.
Yeah. No caffeine in the morning, just a Kelley orgasm.
And you can also grab this toy with our discount code if you want to grab it now. Just check out tabootoys.com and get 15% off with our code Naked Podcast 21. That code is Naked Podcast 21 for 15% off this womanizer.
We'll have all that in the description below, including a link to that specific toy, as well as the discount code.
It one's good. This one is a good one.
The toy is a good one?
Like, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess next we want to talk about our friends at SDC. And so I was really excited about this platform because when we moved here, there wasn't really a lot of people on the platforms that we were used to going to.
Yeah. We're in a new area and we kind of want to check out new platforms that weren't working for us.
Mhm.
So SDC has been amazing. Like you can get the app, you can use it on your phone, you can
Yes.
use it on your computer. The app is awesome to use. Is not difficult at all to navigate, but there is a bunch of features on there. I have recently revamped our profile and there is places where you can like set up you're traveling to a certain area. You can click on the travel calendar,
Mhm.
tell a little bit of like the dates you're going, what you're looking for. And that is perfect because we're actually taking a trip here soon. So
Yes.
we like to kind of like put out a little feeler maybe a week before, but we also like kind of go with the flow and everything. So if people message us, we're like totally available.
Mhm.
And it's just way more user friendly and more updated than the other platforms that we have used recently.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Barney. It doesn't look like it's from, like, 2004.
Or 1992.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it should be running on Windows XP. Or, like, that's the OS you're using when you look up this app. It
Yeah.
doesn't look like that. So, anyway, I really like it, and I think that the opportunity to, like, list a different city or, like, the travel dates is great because, like, we're going to Seattle on Thursday for the game on Sunday night. Go Hawks. Amen. And so, hopefully, we'll be able to connect with some people there, potentially, maybe grab some coffee with some cool people. You mentioned you wanna go to a club for a
Yeah.
Halloween party after
Yeah.
the game.
Exactly. Because the game falls on Halloween this year. And
For those who
guys,
watch,
Rick and Morty, okay?
Kelly is going to be Pickle Rick, and I'm going to be I don't even what's the guy's name?
Morty! Adam
Okay.
doesn't like this show, but he watches it for me, and I'm so grateful that he is willing to humor me in this. But I'm so excited to be Pickle Rick, and he's gonna be Morty. And if you have not checked out that show, it's definitely for adults, not a kid-friendly show. It's on Hulu. It's called Rick and Morty. You should definitely check it out, though.
Well, regardless, they didn't pay us to say that.
They really
But
did not.
I will say this. Okay, so in the description below, there will be a discount code and a link to SDC. If you use the discount code, you will get 14 days for free. I don't think any other platform comes close to giving you 2 weeks for free. I think the closest I've seen from memory, and please don't correct me if I'm wrong. I think the most I've seen is like 5 to 7.
Yeah, but, like, definitely check that out. Get a feel for the site, see if it's for you, but I think you guys will love it.
Yeah, and speaking of loving things, not only do I love you, but apparently we love our listeners. So we're going to give away some of our merch, but also some merch that SDC sent us.
Yes.
So if you would like to,
Receive a little care package from
yes,
us with a bunch of different cool stuff and merch. Please, please listen up.
yes. So every day that we post an episode, we put out a tweet, we put out an Instagram post, or most of the time we put out an Instagram post.
Mhm.
But all you have to do is retweet it or share it, depending on the platform you're on.
Retweet it, share it, and like it.
Yes.
So for Instagram, you like the post
Yes.
and share it.
Okay.
Okay?
I like it.
To be entered into the random drawing. And on Twitter, you have to like it and retweet it.
Yes. There we go. Okay. Cool. Sorry. I thought the way I interpreted what you said, it sounded like you were getting platforms mixed up, and it was confusing me.
I was trying to clarify. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, it could have just been me mishearing it. Anyway, regardless. So check that out. Do that for us, but do that for yourself, more importantly. And we can hook you up with some swag, some merch. And we can make you look like the cool kids on the block. Oh, that's new kids on the block. I was going to make a pun. Anyway, okay. So we've got some exciting topics to talk about today. So one of those is the lack of options in our area.
All right, guys. I don't know how many times we've said this, but we live in a southern state in the most rural,
Rural?
rural,
Rural.
rural part of our state, of the country, honestly. They are
I
very,
wouldn't say it's the most rural part, but it's fucking like
it's pretty, like, we live what we like to call down here in the South in a holler. Literally tested that out today. Adam was on the porch taking Sydney ma'am out for her walk, which is our dog, and he was hollering to our neighbor, having a full-on conversation
about our weekend at
about our
Secrets.
weekend
Yeah.
of our debauchery, and he was hollering it across our porch down the road to he was in his backyard.
Yeah.
So we literally live in a
Yeah. And the
different
funny
place.
thing is, so every now and then when someone follows us on social media, like I'll creep, and every now and then one will catch my attention. One of our listeners lives in our town, and another listener lives like the next town over. So that's pretty cool.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah. So you probably don't know who you are, but thank you for listening. And you know what? Thank you for being you. Anyway, again, it's very finding play dates is pulling teeth. Like it's always been like that for me. So I'm fairly used to it. You, on the other hand,
It is especially different. People aren't as open-minded over here in this area, which is fine, but, like, I'd never realized how much that affected our activities until we moved to a smaller town, which makes sense logically, like, you move to a smaller town, you have smaller options
yeah, I
compared
mean,
to a
like we
bigger
even
city.
put our bunk beds like together so we'd have more room for activities and no one came over.
Exactly. So we are slowly working on it, and I had to actually not cut off, well, kind of cut off this one male that I played with
He
just a
was the
couple
guy that
times.
like used no condom that we talked about in a couple
Yeah, a guy
episodes
that
ago.
I fucked with no condom on in his car. I don't know if you guys remember him, but he I met him through Tinder and we spoke on Snapchat and he actually had a phone call conversation because he actually wanted to like get to know me a little bit better. But we would try to get together and he was just having so many issues in his own life. His car kept breaking down. He is a father and he our schedules just didn't mesh well together.
Yeah, and it seemed like he always tried to get you to come over there and instead of him coming over here.
Yeah, because we have our own extra guest bedroom that we use as our playroom, and, like, it just made more sense for him to come over here, but like I said, he was having car issues, and he always wanted me to go out in the boonies to go visit him, and it
It's
just
not
did
fair.
yeah, it's not fair, it didn't make sense, he never once came over, and I was always going to go see him, so it wasn't clicking, and I let him know this, and he was just kinda being a little bit of a clinger, like trying to hold on to our what we had, our relationship or whatever, and it just wasn't working out. So, had to cut that poor gentleman off.
And it sucks too because he's what, one of 2 well, now 3 experiences that you've been able to have here in the new house in the last, what, 3, 4? No,
7.
7 months, yeah.
7
And
months.
let me clarify, when I say in the new house, I mean the new area
Yeah.
that we moved back to.
Mhm.
Because 'Cause you've only fucked 1 guy here.
Yeah.
Almost 2,
Almost 2.
almost 2.
Yeah.
But you've only been able to play with 3 people and really only had 3 experiences in those 7 months.
Yeah. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, and I've had more than you, and that's fucking odd.
It really is, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and it sucks, but that is part of the reason why we joined SDC is try to find more people. But I mean, some of the other platforms, I think there was like 5 within a
50
50
mile?
mile
Yeah.
radius. Yeah, and then another one, there was a few, but it was like all talk, no play,
Yeah.
or it was just kind of maybe I wouldn't respond for a little bit, and then he would like try to guilt me into something, and I'm like, dude, I'm literally hanging out with my best friends who I haven't seen in like 7 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck off. And it wasn't like I was ignoring him for days on end. It might just be like 7 to 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? But the quality of people on those other sites just wasn't there.
Mhm.
And so there was that. And then like the Tinder game is
Not strong here.
not strong at all. You get girls that like match with me, and sometimes before I can send a message, they read my profile and then unmatch.
Yeah.
And then with you, I feel like when you match with people on Tinder, they just see you as like free game. And it's like,
Exactly, like,
no.
recently, one guy just messaged, "Wanna fuck?" And I'm like,
Well, 5, 6 years ago, you'd have been like, okay, daddy.
"Yeah." When I was in that phase of my life, and my poor husband has taught me some standards, and I no longer fall for that anymore.
It's funny, like, we're laughing because the other night I kind of explained it to some friends of ours who I hope will be lifelong friends now that we've met and really hit it off well, which we'll talk about in a future episode. But the way I explained it was like I just bluntly, without context, say, I taught you standards.
Mhm.
And then, like, I was like, oh, that sounded like an asshole thing to say. But then,
Yeah.
like, I explained it and I used that specific example of like, wanna fuck? Yeah, let's go. Now you're like, you have to tick some boxes.
Exactly, I have to meet you in person, you have to have some STD testing, we have to at least vibe.
Yeah. You actually have
Normal
to be like a
things.
decent person.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's just like the opportunities here in this area just aren't there. I mean, I've been lucky with what do I call them the bi couple that I've been able to, play around with every now and then.
Mhm.
They're awesome. But I will say this on that platform where there was one couple within like 50 miles or like five couples within 50 miles, one of them is within our age range. And we've actually had dinner with them. And I will say this, they are quality people.
They are.
And so much so that the husband and I, we grabbed drinks and we kind of talked for 6 to 8 weeks before the four of us all got together. Just because, like, you and him have a very similar schedule. Her and I are kind of the same schedule, except she's a stay at home mom, super fucking hot. But anyway, it was probably a week or two after we had dinner with them that that either one of us saw a nude photo of them.
Yeah, like, I definitely enjoyed the getting together, having dinner, having conversations, playing games, like, getting to know each other
Hmm.
a lot better as a prelude to any sexual interactions.
Yeah.
And he is definitely a very sweet guy, like, we both graduated from the same university at the same time, I did not know this.
Was it like the same day too?
Yeah, the same day.
Wow.
Yes, and he is in a field similar to mine, not completely,
Mhm.
but very similar, so, we kinda clicked a little bit, and he is now on my Snapchat. I've been snapping him, and we have both been busy with work because we do work similar schedules,
Mhm.
but we just haven't had a chance or opportunity to actually play, and I hope we do because he is definitely I think he's an attractive male.
Yeah, I think he's an attractive male too. His wife is very attractive as well. She's got like a great smile, but I think what I like and enjoy most about them is they definitely seem to be in the realm of, hey, let's be like really good friends and build our foundation off of that. And if sex happens, great. But if not, I'm glad we have a friend. That's
Mhm,
the vibe that I've gotten from them. And that's what we are trying to do as well. So, like, I really appreciate that
mhm,
and respect the fuck out of that. 'Cause it's like what we're trying to do, you know?
mhm,
We're trying to find our next Destiny and Daniel, our next Dakota and Melissa, like couples that all four of us are like really like good friends, you
mhm.
know?
Yeah.
When I hang up the phone with Daniel, whenever I talk to him on the phone nowadays, I end it with like, "Hey, love you, man." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like that's the kind of relationship we want, not necessarily in like a polyamorous dynamic, but in like a I love you as a friend, like as a bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So looking for that. Those people are awesome. We might talk about that here in an upcoming episode, depending on the direction things go. Okay, so kind of getting a little bit backtracking here. You did have a coffee date with a gentleman who we're going to call Vin or Vinny or vehicle identification number.
No, it's just gonna be Vin, okay? Short and sweet. So I met this guy on a threesome platform, and Adam actually matched with him before I did.
Yes. We were talking, we hit it off pretty well conversationally, but then it was like he found out I went to high school with his girlfriend, like just cut off
Yeah,
everything.
so when he found him, he was on there as a couple.
Mhm.
So he stopped talking to him and everything, and then I joined that platform and I matched with him. And I was showing Adam, like, the conversation and what he looked like, and Adam was like, "Oh my god, I matched with him."
Yeah, it took me a minute and then like you're on the shitter, I think, or something. I just barge. I'm like, I fucking matched with him.
Yeah, he, like, scared me. I'm like, "What?" And he showed me, like, yeah, the conversations they had and everything, and but I, like, double checked the profile, like, it was only him. I
Mhm.
didn't want, like, a cheating spouse type issue to go on, so I still wanted to go on the coffee date that we planned, and I was planning on confronting him about it and, like, what happened. Because if he didn't like my husband and that's the reason he didn't matched him, I would have been pissed off and I would have probably called him out on it. But went on this coffee date, went to a local coffee shop in our town, and he actually lives like super close to it too. And we meet up there, waiting in line. Like I already ordered my coffee. I get there a little bit early because I kind of want to like feel the place out first and like calm my jitters. I get there early, get a coffee, waiting for my coffee, and like I see him walk in. Like I can immediately tell this is him. And he first seemed like a little standoffish, like, I could tell, like, he wasn't, like, super, like, open and bubbly like I
Probably
am.
because he knew you were gonna call him out on some shit.
Oh, maybe, I don't know, but he orders just a plain cup of coffee. I get my, like, little iced coffee that was absolutely delicious and
Was it pumpkin?
no, it was like a iced vanilla latte with oat milk.
Mm.
Super white girl basic.
Yeah, your sister even though you're a Latina, all your sisters are Latinas, they all say you act like a white girl, a stereotypical white
So,
girl.
okay, when I grew up, I did not have any Hispanic friends because there was no Hispanic people in the town I grew up with, so I
Mhm.
hung out with the only other Caucasians there.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like, it's funny that they call you out on that
Yeah, they
just
do.
about every time we all get together.
But anyway, so we both get our coffee, we choose a chair, we sit down, and I actually see this really cute, attractive guy that I was planning on, like, saying hi to. He was working on his computer, and I really wanted to chat with him too,
You
but
should
he
just
left.
hack into his computer and figure out his screen name and then send him an IM.
No, no, like, he left before we finished with our little coffee thing, but
Gave him
back
a free trial to your OnlyFans.
but so we talked for a whole hour, and he actually brought it up first before I could confront him on the whole, like, him matching with you
Mhm.
and, like, suddenly ending it. So
Oh,
he
wait, so he brought it
Oh,
up and
yeah, he
was
brought
like
it up
so
first.
he knew.
Oh, yeah, he did know.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes.
kinda ballsy of him.
Yeah. Like, I think he was just being, like, upfront and honest.
Yeah, yeah, which is admirable.
Yeah, it was. So and that's how, like, he carried all the conversation. He wanted to tell me everything that could be a potential reason why I wouldn't want to
Mhm.
continue with him. I was very impressed that he did broach every subject, and I'm gonna mention a couple things that are kinda a little bit, like,
Edgy?
edgy. That's a good word. So, like I said, he brought it up that he matched with you and that his ex-girlfriend, they are no longer together. Apparently, they broke up like a month later after the whole ordeal with you.
Mhm.
His ex-girlfriend went to high school with Adam and he knew like she knew of him and she thought it was just he was a weird person in high school. And I could totally see Adam being a weird
I
person
mean,
in
like,
high
I
school.
probably was, but, like, I also in hi like, not that it matters now, but in high school, I was kind of okay, I went to a small high school, okay? And so there's basically only 2 groups of people. You had the popular and the non-popular kids, and that was it. Like, there wasn't that many, like, subcultures or
Subgroups,
subgroups, yeah.
subclick.
But maybe some dom groups? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, and I kind of flirted the line with both of those groups. And so and the funny thing is, like, this particular girl that we're talking about, like, there was this other girl who we will not name, who was my girlfriend first, and then after that, like, they got together. I don't know, I just kinda thought it was funny, like, now looking back, but yeah. But, yeah, I definitely probably was weird in high school, but who isn't weird at all, like, in some way?
Yeah, but anyway, she just thought he was weird and, like, it would be a weird situation to, like, do something all 4 of us together when she kinda knew him growing up, you know?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
See, when you put it like that when because she knew me growing up,
Mhm.
I get it.
Yeah.
But it was almost like I think the part that upset me was just kinda like to me, it kinda felt narrow-minded because the only way or the only reason that you told me was that it was because I was weird in high school. And it was like, to me, that's I'm sorry, I can't grow up in, like, the 9 years since high school
Yeah.
and be a better
9,
or
10
cooler
years, the
person.
decade.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just kind of felt like she was being narrow-minded about that, but when you put it like that she knew me growing up, it could
Yeah.
be a little weird, that makes total sense to
Yeah.
me.
She didn't want to do anything with us, so, yeah, that was why, and I'm glad he brought it up and explained, and that was very, very admirable of him. He also mentioned that he is a father. He does have 2 sons that he shares custody with their moms. They're both by different mothers, and he also was talking about this very difficult period of time in his life, which was here well, kinda not recently. It started at the beginning of the year. Apparently, him and his ex-wife had his second ex-wife had a very interesting relationship and dynamic. I think that they were both into the BDS lifestyle, and they are both like, this guy, Vin, is very fit and muscular and Adam would call him a meathead. That's what you said to me, okay? Don't try to lie.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So they're both very into the gym culture and everything. And one of their gym friends, who also happened to be his wife's trainer, was also into this lifestyle. And the trainer also was married and everything. So the trainer and his wife was into the lifestyle and they kind of helped them get into it.
Into the BDSM lifestyle, right?
Exactly, the BDSM lifestyle. And when they separated, she was going to their house to continue the BDSM stuff, but it also kind of merged into them cheating on their spouses with each other. So he found this out while they were all together actually. They were recently separated, but like still hanging out with their friends and everything and trying to do everything cordially. But he found this out while they were all drinking together and he got into an altercation with her and it just ended up with him. I think he went to jail or got arrested or something and his ex-wife dropped the charges because, of everything that was going on. And like 6 months later, the trainer leaves his wife for his ex-wife, and the ex-wife is now pressing charges against him. So it was a whole story, and he explained it to me and like, "Hey, if you don't wanna continue because of this stuff I'm in, I totally understand, but I wanna be as transparent and as open as honest with you and everything." And I was very appreciative of him. Like he was very gentlemanly. He was very like cordial with everything.
Mhm.
We talked about different stuff for a whole hour. Like we're in a similar field as well. He works in the medical field and I do too. So we had a lot in common there. We talked about different things and different aspects. And he was also in the I wanna say army, like, he was an army medic as well too, so we had a lot of things in common, and I really enjoyed that part as well. So we ended the day after I looked down at my phone, saw that you had texted me just checking up on me, making sure I was okay,
Mhm.
and, like, a whole hour had gone by. I was like, "Hey, I should probably get going. It was really nice meeting you." He walked me to my car. Very sweet, very nice, and I immediately, like, get in my car, I sit there and I actually look over and see a bookstore. I'm like, "No, I can't go in there." I have this thing where I
Jesus.
have to, like, go into every bookstore that I see because I just love books. But anyway, so I had to go pay a bill, so I went to go pay a bill, and I'm, like, kinda absorbing everything that he's telling me. I sent him a quick text, like, "Thank you for meeting me," and everything, and then I call Adam. I call Adam.
You call me daddy?
I call Adam and telling him where I'm going, what I'm doing, and how the little coffee date went. And I preface it by saying, "Hey."
Well, okay, so you didn't bring up the entire situation until I think we were going to Lowe's or something.
Yeah, it was later that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I let him know how everything was going. And I didn't broach the subject till a little bit later in the day. And what did you think of it? Like,
Of, like, this whole situation?
yeah, his whole situation.
I don't like the fact that he got into an altercation with his ex-wife.
Mhm.
I mean, granted, I wasn't there. He could have been acting in self-defense. She could have been acting in self-defense.
Mhm.
There's 3 sides to every story. His,
Exactly.
hers, and the truth.
Exactly.
So, I don't know that whole thing, but it just seemed like it was just very fresh, very new, very messy, and
Mhm.
I just didn't think that that was something that either of us should be participating in and
Yeah,
getting involved in.
I know.
I mean, like, he could have been, like, a stand-up guy,
Yeah, and he said he did mention, like, he is currently in therapy and counseling
which is
on his own.
admirable,
Yeah, and he has completely quit drinking.
which is also admirable.
Yeah, and I actually still Snapchat him.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah,
like, maybe once everything blows over, I mean,
yeah, yeah, and I even mentioned, like, "Hey, I'm kinda busy. We have a lot of things going on. I really appreciate you and your situation and you being open and honest with me," and he said he is willing to wait.
for marriage, right?
For to wait for a time when everything is, like, calmed down and, like, things have calmed down with me and him,
See,
with
I
our
think that that
schedules.
kind of just, like, proves my theory that people other than me find you very attractive.
Oh my god.
Because if he's willing to wait that long, Jesus Christ.
I know this is, like, kinda off topic, but I also have this thing, like, every time I match with someone on Tinder or any other site that's not, like, a couple and it's just a person, it's usually a male, I like to let them know, "Hey, I am not your typical skinny person." I'm chubby.
Mhm.
I am not fit. I'm gonna try it, guys. I'm gonna try it.
You have what I would call in my non-medical professional mind, you have a very flawed self body image issues. I feel like you see yourself as just like a big old blob of human flesh.
Yes.
And I see you as a sexy, feisty Latina. No, you're
Mm.
not skinny. Do you have thighs that would like choke me out if you wanted to? Absolutely. And honestly, I was talking about this with a couple at Secrets this weekend. I would be way more than a happy camper if I died between your legs.
Oh my god.
Not only have I lived a good life, but I'm also having an amazing dinner while I'm going.
Oh my god. Okay.
But, like, in all serious, you're fucking gorgeous, and I'm sure everyone on like, in our audience will agree, and I mean and especially now that we put our faces out there, and you can also see her coochie on OnlyFans. Her coochie, her chi-chis, her like, what's a cool name like that for your booty?
Uh,
Djibouti, like the country? That
I was gonna
sounds
say
like not something.
pancake. Pancake?
Pancakes? Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We're not gonna flap jack, okay? You are a short stack, okay? Actually, sorry, Dakota. That's your nickname.
But yeah, like I said, I do like to let the men know that I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? I'm chubby.
I do. I know what
I
you're
don't
trying to
want to.
say.
Okay, I
You're
don't.
letting them know that you're not a fucking Barbie.
I'm trying to let them know that I'm fat. Okay, I am trying to prepare them mentally to not expect like this. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to
I
say.
understand, and you're just trying to let them know that you're not a stereotypical Barbie doll looking thing.
Yeah.
You're not a Victoria's Secret model,
Yes.
well, of the old kind. Well, they've got more like open-minded and inclusive with and more realistic, I think.
Victoria's Secret has.
Yes,
That's what he's trying to say.
with their model choices.
But back to this topic.
Okay, I'm getting there.
Okay.
And honestly, I would say that you have a normal body and it is gorgeous. And you're sitting there thinking, like, I can see the look on your face. You're like, I'm fucking gross and this motherfucker's blind. Well, guess what, bitch? I'm wearing my glasses. Okay. You're
Oh my
gorgeous.
god.
Everything about you. I can't name one fucking flaw of physically. You have some fucked up mental ones, like how you view yourself. That and then when you get flustered, you just shut down. Those are the only two things I would change about you. I might give you a little bit bigger feet because you're trying to go for you're trying to go for clown college.
No, no.
Well, if we're gonna get like a townhouse in the Orlando area, we have to pay for it somehow. And I thought clown college was what you wanted to do.
No, no, sir.
Then you could act like it on or Pennywise from It.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, so I let guys know, and I let this guy know. I let this muscular guy who works out
This hunka
religiously
burning love.
every day with huge arms and like a fit physique that like okay, so I asked Adam to show me his ex-girlfriend, which was a huge mistake because this woman was like toned as fuck. She had gorgeous hair, like a pretty face, amazing body.
Okay, so you got to preface it like she is a bodybuilder.
She is. She is.
Okay, we build our bodies very differently than she does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I build mine with brownies and cheese ravioli.
Hey, that was tonight at Olive Garden because we were having fun time with your friends, even though my fucking Seahawks lost again. Anyway, DK, your boyfriend had an 84-yard touchdown pass, which was nice.
Okay, back to what I was saying, sir.
So we stuff our bodies differently.
Yeah, we build our bodies
I
differently.
really stuff mine differently than he does because, sometimes I like to take a penis up there.
Yeah. But anyway, I let him know. I let Vin know that, like, hey, I checked out your ex-girlfriend she and I have way different body types, as you saw, because he met me in person. And like, are you okay with this? And he was nice about it. He's like, hey, I know you are completely different, but that doesn't matter to me. I enjoy your company. I enjoyed your smile and your conversation. You're a very sweet and bubbly person. Like, I enjoyed your personality.
So he's more of a personality than a looks guy.
I guess so, if he must like me. I was being funny.
So for those of you listening, it's gotten to the point where like when Kelley like says something negative about herself, I spank her in the keister. Because I'm like really, it bothers me how much you hate your physical appearance.
Some days are better than others. I try to work on it.
I was going to tell the reason behind all of this. I was going to tell that person
No.
off, but you told me
No.
not
I
to.
told you not to. Anyways, so yes, Vin said he would wait. He likes me for me, and you're okay with this, right?
I mean, like potentially,
Yeah, potentially.
it's
But
like let's revisit it once all the
everything,
murkiness
yes.
becomes like clearer, you know?
Yeah.
It's just he's got a lot going on. It's very fresh, very juicy. So maybe we'll see how it goes. I'm not saying no.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I
keeping
know.
an open mind, but it's just like he's going through a lot
Mhm.
right now, and it all needs to be sorted out. And I don't think it's a mess that we should be dipping our testicles. I mean, sorry, your coochie into. So
Exactly. All right, guys. That's it for this episode.
yes. And so where can they find the discount code for SDC and Taboo Toys?
You're going to put it in the notes below.
Yes.
Taboo Toys discount again, one more time, for 15% off.
Naked Podcast 21.
Yes.
And then the SDC discount code is like a bunch of numbers that I can't really remember, but it will be in the description box below for you to copy and paste into the link that's there. You can also buy our merch on fullswapshop.com. Check it out there. And also don't forget to retweet our post, like and retweet on Twitter, and like and share on Instagram.
Yes.
For a chance. I think we're going to choose one per platform.
Yes.
Maybe more than that, depending on how fast we want to clean up some space. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, we're going to be giving out some merch. If you like and retweet on Twitter, or if you like and share on the grams of Insta.
And our Instagram is at TNR Podcasts.
As is our Twitter and our Book of Faces. So,
yay.
And we are on OnlyFans. So again, you can see Kelley's coochie. And if you're into it, you might be able to see my my micro penis.
Stop it.
No, I'm just kidding. I heard a thing that like if you can joke about having like a small dick, then makes you look better as a person. So I've been trying to do that a lot lately, and my wife has a beautiful cock. I'm kidding, she doesn't. You're so annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we're on OnlyFans. We're on AVN Stars, Loyal Fans, Pocket Stars, Fansly. We're on a bunch. All the links are down below.
Damn.
Support us. Don't forget about Patreon. We don't post nudity on there, but there are tiers just to support us. So if you don't want any of those adult content sites showing up in your bank account, there is Patreon option. And you can have a monthly hangout with us, video chat with us is the goal. It's going to be a lot easier now because you are...
I am off for a whole month, guys.
Yas, queen. So anyway, check those out. We love you guys for listening. Thank you so much. This is actually going to be a little bit of a longer episode, so should be all in good fun. There's some things to chop out, but I think it's going to be a longer than normal episode, which I think the listeners like having a little bit. All right. So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Love you guys. Go Hawks. And in the words of my father-in-law,
bye.
Adios.